my dear hearts. Blessings, welcome. I know for many of us we're going through a really traumatic time right now. A lot of disappointment, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, uncertainty, rage. And so I wanted to just create a video offering some peace, soothing vibes, and to give us some perspective of how we move forward together. Because we have each other. In the world there are many bright souls, many light-filled beings, light workers, who are striving to raise the vibratory quality of this planet. And so what can we do for ourselves and for one another to make this world a better place? So that's my intent in offering this video today. Given the nature of what's going on in the world right now, I'm probably going to do more videos like this of just having spiritual, philosophical conversations and trying to help us all, help each other, help you, help me, to stay focused on the light, to stay focused on what's positive. So to kick us off today, I'm going to draw an oracle card for us to focus on in this conversation. This is actually my personal oracle deck that I've been developing for the last year, and it's my next big project I'm going to be announcing, so I'll have these available probably in January or February of 2025, time when we probably will all need them. But just asking Spirit to guide me, what is something that we need to focus on together, collectively, as a group? What is the spiritual principle that we need to hone in on? So today I pulled Hold Paradoxical Truths. I love this one for today because how do we hold the idea that at the same time things are really challenging, maybe a lot of fears coming up, a feeling of impending darkness and gloom? How do we concurrently hold that with the notion that we are okay? We are beings of light, all of us, every person, every being on this planet, every sentient creature is a being of light. In a varying level of contraction or expansion, but we're all the same energy. And that we have peace available to us here, right now, in this moment, wherever you are. We have love available to us. And so how do we navigate a world that can be encouraging us to feel afraid, to doubt? At the same time, we hold fast to the light. So I think that perfectly reinforces the idea that I want us to dive into today. So we live in a reality that some people think may not be a true reality. And when I say some people, it covers a wide gamut. We have people in Hinduism who talk about Maya, the great illusion. We have people in indigenous traditions talking about the great dream. We have the Gnostic Christians that believed that this was a reality formed not by the true God, but by the demiurge, who created an imperfect world to keep us trapped. We have scientists who bring up the idea of simulation theory, which I actually created a video about if you want to check it out. That we are trapped in a matrix-like computer program, and there's evidence to suggest this based on quantum computing and the way that light works. But there's this idea that we're trapped in a world that is illusory, and it's a world that wants to keep us here in suffering, in questioning, in a level of darkness, because it feeds the program, it feeds the creators of this false reality. But that there's also an escape route out of it, and that is to focus on truth, love, and bliss. Because all of us at our core, as aspects of the divine consciousness incarnated into this earthly plane, we are all beings of truth, bliss, and love. And so when we can tap into those qualities, we start to rise above the vibration of this planet, and we start to reclaim our divine heritage. It really is the escape route, the escape hatch. And this is why I say any true religion, keyword true religion, reunites you with a state of peace, love, joy, forgiveness, bliss. A really easy way to see if somebody is tapped into divine energy and if their spiritual path is working for them. Notice the peace with which they live. Notice how easily they forgive. Notice how kind they are, how how freely they exchange love, how much they're enjoying this life and are in their bodies and enjoying their bodies. And if you see somebody, no matter how religious seeming they claim to be, no matter their clothes of being a religious figure or their iconography that they wear around their necks of being a spiritual figure, if they're filled with hate, rage, fear, if they want to make you feel afraid, if they're unsettled within their own spirit, then they're not connecting with God, they're connecting with something else. And so if we take this idea of this being a fabricated reality, that there is perhaps a false God, a creator of this reality that's keeping us imprisoned, maybe they're connecting with that instead. And so this false reality constantly wants to give us things that will pull us out of our experience of our joy-filled self and give our energy back to the matrix, back to this artificial world. And so things will come up, like perhaps this week, where we become afraid, where we become angry and frustrated and disbelieving and constantly are scrolling social media and the news for updates about how could this happen and what is going on. And it pulls us out of our experience of self. These forces in the world, these larger happenings, we, for the most part, are able to change them very, very little, if at all. I'm not going to change, personally, I'm not going to change in my own self who is President of the United States, who is the Speaker of the House, what legislation gets enacted, how the government functions, how the police function. I'm not going to be able to affect any of that on a real, tangible level. The only thing I can really affect is myself. The only thing I really have agency over and power over is myself, my actions, and where I choose to put my energy, my focus. And so what I can do is I can work to raise the vibratory level of my own body, the space around me. And I can work to connect with that divine heavenly light beyond the construct, beyond wherever we find ourselves, into that true reality. Because we are made of that. All of us are made of that. We can reconnect with it and form a pillar of light that starts to grow and expand. And it starts to break apart that heaviness, that darkness of this world. It starts to transmute that heaviness back into true light. Because again, everything is made out of that God consciousness. It's just forgotten. It doesn't remember who and what it is. So we don't need to do anything. We just invite this light in and allow it to do its work. And so in the world around me, we can have a space of peace and love and bliss. You know, people come to our home and often comment on like how happy our pets are and how sentient they are. And part of that is the fact that they're absorbed in this energy. I am a horrible plant keeper. I think I water my plants like once or twice a month. I'm horrible at it. But most of them, we have dozens and dozens of plants throughout our house. Most of them thrive. Not because I'm tending them so well, but because of the energy flowing in our home that's keeping them nourished and vibrant. We should probably water them more, but still, right? We live not just off the food we eat and water we drink, but we live off the energy of the cosmos. And that's why you'll see great saints and sentient masters who are able to go without food and without water for extended periods of time, days, weeks, months even, there have been some studied cases of. Because they're able to pull directly from that life force. And so in these times of chaos, it's so easy to get caught up in the drama and the anger and the frustration and the fear. But that ultimately doesn't serve us. We have to hold these paradoxical truths that yes, we are in this world, but we are not of this world. We are going to be experiencing reality, but it is not our true reality. It is not an objective thing. We are the creators of our reality. And where the attention goes, the energy flows. So as you put your attention back into yourself, on your heart, on the flow of the energy connecting you with the divine light, reaching for that true source that you are a part of, that is a part of you, past the illusion, and make it part of you, this world can still be a place of bliss. The night of the election, I was very grateful. As I was sleeping that night, my spirit guides just kept sending messages of comfort and saying, you are safe. You are safe because when you connect with that divine energy, you are rooted in the cosmic truth. And then it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens. For all we know, a giant volcano could blow up, an asteroid could hit the Earth, a giant tsunami. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what will come next. All we have is this moment. This present moment is our only true reality right now, right here. And so in this present moment, we can come back to this divine flow. We can come back to that connection. And in this moment, which is the only moment we ever really have, we are safe, we are well. And even if a world-ending event happens next month, in this moment, we are safe, we are well. And knowing that whatever comes, if we are able to tether ourselves to this truth, it doesn't matter. Because the greatest beings I've ever encountered and read about and seen are those who, no matter what happens, they're able to stay grateful, humble, open, loving, no matter the travesties, no matter the social disruption or the chaos, no matter the natural disaster, they stay in a place of love and grace and bliss and peace. Some of the greatest beings I know have endured unimaginable tortures, and yet they still connect with love. You think of the people who survived horrible atrocities like the Holocaust and still are able to love and forgive. If they're able to do that, then we should surely be able to hold on to our peace, our joy, our bliss, regardless of what is happening. And this is not to say that by focusing on ourselves, we can't also make change in the world. By all means, please do. Post YouTube videos. Go out and talk to people. Volunteer. Get engaged. That is all good and well. But it has to start here. Because if you come from a place of panic and fear and rage, you're going to reinforce that vibration. If you can come from a place of divine light, then that's what's going to be spreading out from you. That's what's going to ripple out. That's what's going to shine into the world. And so this is my message for you today, is can you reconnect with love, light, peace, and bliss? Realize that that is your truth and it is available to you at any time, anywhere, any place. And it doesn't matter what's happening out here. It doesn't matter. Because calamities can and will come. Societies rise and fall. We look back over thousands of years. Everything comes to an end. I'm a huge fan of ancient archaeological structures, and we look at them and how amazingly built they were, and these phenomenal technological abilities that they had that we cannot reproduce with our current technology. Like, look at places like Göbekli Tepe. Look at places like the Barabara caves in India that have mirror smooth finished curved dome ceilings carved into granite. These giant caves that are so perfectly honed and symmetrical that we can physically not do it with today's technology. Yet somehow ancient cultures did. It suggests that there have been other times, other people, other places before ours. And so can we get comfortable with saying, this too may end. This too may end. But that does not mean that I end. And whatever comes, can I walk into it with grace, humility, love, forgiveness, and peace? Because that is my choice. That is my actionable item. And that is something that I can do here and now. So those are some of my thoughts for today. If you found this valuable, please drop a comment. I love to read about it. And if you like me doing these kind of videos where I just talk about things like this, let me know, because I'm happy to do more of them. I have historically stayed away from doing videos like this because they don't do well with the algorithms. And YouTube does not reward good viewership for videos like this. But screw it. I think in this chaotic time when people are so unsettled, I think it's more important that we speak to what people need to hear than worrying about what is going to get more clicks and views. And if you disagree with that, you can let me know as well. And if you ever want to talk one-on-one, please don't hesitate to reach out. I do offer free consultation calls with everyone. So even if you just want to meet with me that one time and use your free call for that, just hit me up. My email is available on my website, ecstaticself.com. You can reach me through there. You can also find me on all my social media sites. And if you kind of want more conversations like this and kind of behind the scenes and get access to these videos a day earlier and connect with other people who are doing similar work, you can head over to my Patreon, where there's more access to things like this. But sending you love. I'll have more information about this cool project coming soon. I just so love the artwork that my designer came up with, that we collaborated on. So I think this is going to be a really special project that I can't wait to share more in depth with you. And it is paired with a book. So that's what I'm finishing up right now, is each of these 48 concepts gets a chapter. So it's a nice way to take your spiritual path a little bit deeper. So I'll be talking about more about this in the coming months. In the meantime, be blessed, be well, shine bright, be at peace. For dear heart, you are God incarnate. You always have been. You always will be. And so is everyone else. Even your worst enemy is God incarnate. So share the love. Peace and blessings to you. I'll see you soon.